Hello friends, welcome back. In the last two videos we have spoken about phonological ambiguity and lexical ambiguity. In this video we're going to talk about structural ambiguity. I'll also provide the links of the videos on phonological ambiguity and lexical ambiguity in the description box below. Now let's talk about structural ambiguity. Structural ambiguity is the ambiguity created by the arrangement of words in the sentence. Sometimes a single sentence gives two different structures with two different meanings. This type of ambiguity is particularly known as structural ambiguity. It is often contrasted with the lexical ambiguity, which is created by the words. In our previous video, we have seen phonological ambiguity, which was specifically created in the spoken language, and the lexical ambiguity, which is created because of the words. Now, structural ambiguity is also known as syntactic ambiguity because it is the syntax that creates the ambiguity. Let's try to understand structural ambiguity with the help of an example. Look at the sentence on your screen. He gave her cat food. Now, if you look at this sentence, it communicates two different structures. And you can easily understand two meanings of the structure. For instance, the first structure is he is the subject, gave is the verb, her cat is the direct object, and food is the indirect object. So, the meaning of this sentence becomes he gave food to her cat. And there is second obvious structure of the same sentence, like he forms the subject, gave is again the verb, her is the direct object, and cat food is the indirect object. Cat food is a noun phrase here. Okay, so this is how structural ambiguities are identified because they are created because of their structures. Now we'll try to understand structural ambiguity and different patterns of the sentences that create structural ambiguity. Look at another example here. He called her a taxi. In the sentence, he called her a taxi, he is the subject, called is the verb, her is the direct object, and taxi is indirect object. So, overall, the meaning of this sentence is he called a taxi for her. But it also communicates another structure with another meaning. For example, here in the second meaning, we have he as the subject, called as the verb, her as the direct object, and a taxi as the object complement. So, the meaning of this structure becomes he said taxi to her. So, obviously, two meanings of this sentence are he called a taxi for her and he said taxi to her. Look at another example. This is a little different kind of structure. The example is foreigners are hunting dogs. Now, if you look at this sentence, you will understand there are two different structures in this sentence. The first one is in which foreigners is the subject, are hunting is the verb phrase, and dogs is the object. The meaning becomes foreigners are running after the dogs in order to catch or kill them. Look at another structure. Foreigners is again the subject here. Are is the auxiliary verb functioning as the main verb, and hunting dogs is the subject complement in this sentence. So, the meaning becomes foreigners are the dogs that hunt. And if you together want to see the two meanings communicated by this sentence, they are foreigners are running after the dogs in order to catch or kill them, and foreigners are the dogs that hunt. A similar sort of example is here. Hunting lions can be dangerous. Now see, hunting lions is a non-finite clause here, can be is the verb phrase, and dangerous is the complement. The meaning communicated by this structure is the act of chasing lions in order to catch or kill them is dangerous. However, there is another structure communicated by the same sentence in which hunting lions is noun phrase as the subject of this sentence, can be is the verb phrase, and dangerous is the complement. So, the meaning of this sentence becomes lions which hunt can be dangerous. There is another example which is quite different from the earlier structures. The example is I saw the girl in the room. Now, this sentence also communicates two different structures. Let's understand the first one, in which I is the subject, saw is the verb, and the girl in the room is the object of this sentence. The girl in the room is the noun phrase functioning as the object. And the meaning communicated by this sentence is, I saw the girl who was in the room. Now, look at the second structure communicated by the same sentence. I is the subject, saw is the verb, the girl is the object, and in the room is the adverbial. And obviously, the meaning of this sentence becomes, I saw the girl when she was in the room. Okay, let's look at this example also. I want CBI to help corrupt police. Now, this sentence also communicates two different structures with two different meanings. Let's understand the first one. In the first one, I is the subject, want is the verb, CBI is the object, and to help is the infinitive, and corrupt police is the noun phrase. Okay, here is the difference. And the meaning communicated by this structure is, I want CBI to help the corrupt police. Okay, I want CBI to help the corrupt police. Now, another structure communicated by the same sentence is, I is the subject, want is the verb, CBI is the object, to help is infinitive, corrupt is the verb, and police is the noun. So the meaning becomes, I want CBI to help in corrupting the police. That's it. So there are plenty of such examples in English with different kind of structures which communicate two different meanings. I would want you to find many of them, and if I'm missing some of such structures, I think you should let me know in the comment box. I'd like to give a few examples here which I think you should try and solve and write two meanings of those sentences if you know them. Okay, here are the examples. The first one is, he made her a doll. He found me a good secretary. She found him a clown. She found me a slave. Hunting lions can be dangerous. He is my language teacher. This is one set of examples. There are a few more examples. If you know two meanings of these sentences, please write them in the comment box. They are moving doors. They are flying kites. Beating wives can be dangerous. He calls his wife a taxi. I talked to the man in the garden and she pinched her back. Now, all these examples are the examples of structural ambiguity, and this type of examples have been already discussed in this video. So if you can solve them, it's very good. I think this is enough for today.